Warning. This video contains spoilers for Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, as well as minor story spoilers for Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, Shin Megami Tensei 4, and Persona 5. Okay, I genuinely forgot about this for a while, but I've finally gotten around to it. So finally, welcome back to the Goetia special of Megami Tensei Demon Lore. And I feel like I've kept you waiting long enough, so let's just go straight to the first demon in the video. First on our list is Nibiros, who was first mentioned in 1583 by Dutch physician and occultist Johann Weyer. He is the 24th spirit of Niaz Goetia, and supposedly the most valiant Marquis of Hell. He has 19 legions of demons under his rule. He is described as a necromancer, who makes his summoners cunning in all arts and scientists according to most authors, but especially in rhetoric. He also restores lost dignities and honors. Apparently, he speaks in a hoarse voice. Nibiros' alternate name is Niberius, and it is theorized that his name comes from the Greek Cerberus. Nibiros has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Megami Tensei 2, Kyoyaku Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Last Bible 3, Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army, Devil Summoner 2 Raido Kuzunoha vs. King Abaddon, Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5, Persona Q, Devil Survivor Overclocked, and Devil Survivor 2. Nibiros' most important role was in Shin Megami Tensei, in which he goes under the name the Black Count, and imprisons countless human souls alongside another demon under the alias Red Baron, who is actually Belial. Nibiros has trapped these souls in an attempt to create a false paradise for him and the Red Baron's adoptive daughter, Alice. Nibiros is also indirectly responsible for the initial death of the lore hero, as he has imprisoned the soul of the lore hero's girlfriend, and in his brash attempt at saving her, his soul is trapped in the same way as hers, killing him. Persona 4 also includes a reference to this role, as fusing a Nibiros with a Belial results in an Alice. Nibiros has had 3 different designs throughout the entire Megaten series, though his artwork from Shin Megami Tensei was in a different pose than later games. His first appearance was only seen in Megami Tensei 2 and its SNES remake Kyoyaku Megami Tensei, where he appears as a robed man holding a staff, with not much else to his design. His design from Last Bible 3 is depicted as a skeleton wearing a hood while holding a sword. His other, and more prominent design featured in every other appearance appears as a blue-skinned man with many full-body tattoos, wearing a cloak around his torso and head, stretching down to his legs and a loincloth. He is depicted as holding a wooden marionette puppet, meant to symbolize his role as a necromancer, where he manipulates the puppet as he would manipulate the dead he raises. For our second demon, we have Belial. Now what's a little interesting about this demon is that he dates farther back than the Goetia itself, first appearing in the Hebrew Bible, which was believed to have been written in the 6th century BC, until a discovery in 2010 that discovered it may have been written in the 10th century BC instead. In the Hebrew Bible, the term Belial essentially meant worthless, though the etymology traditionally meant lacking worth. Though those are essentially the same statement from different perspectives. The term Belial is applied to ideas, words, counsel, calamitous circumstances, and, of course, most frequently to humans deemed as worthless. Ways to become deemed as Belial include worshipping gods other than YHVH, taking part in the sex crime at Goetia, which seems to have many different interpretations including male homosexual rape, or a man's daughter being raped and beaten until death. I couldn't find a definitive answer. Being one of the wicked sons of Eli, opposing God's anointed, and so many more ways. Eventually, the term Belial came to be a straight personification of the devil in later Jewish and Christian texts. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to the Goetia's interpretation of the demon Belial, in which he is described as without a master and symbolizes self-sufficiency, independence, and personal accomplishment. Belial is the 68th demon of the Ars Goetia. He is a king of hell and controls 80 legions of demons and 50 legions of spirits. Supposedly, he was the first spirit to be created after Lucifer. He has the ability to distribute senatorships and grants the summoner excellent familiars. The summoner must present Belial with offerings, sacrifices, and/or gifts, or else he will not answer questions or grant the summoner's demands. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse and Persona 5 also say he persecuted Jesus Christ, but I don't know where this information comes from. Belial has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Megami Tensei 2, Kyoyaku Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey Redux, not the original version, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Last Bible, called Varial in the English version, Last Bible 3, Majin Tensei 2 Spiral Nemesis, Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army, Devil Summoner 2 Raido Kuzunoha vs. King Abaddon, Persona 4, Persona Q, Persona 5, Devil Children Black Book and Red Book, Devil Children White Book, Demi-Kids Light and Dark version, Devil Children Fire and Ice Book, Devil Survivor, and Devil Survivor 2. Belial's most important role was in Shin Megami Tensei, but it's essentially the same as Nabyros, so instead I'll talk about what is probably his second most important role. Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, where he appears as a boss in Camp Ichigaya, where he attempts to convince the party that they are overestimating their strength and that humans must rely on gods and demons inevitably due to their own weakness. He decides that he must help mankind evolve and grow by putting them through trials directed by Lucifer. When he is killed, he laughs and then states that Nanashi, the protagonist, is beyond human, and owes his power to the god who granted him that freedom, Dagda. Belial has had 5 different designs throughout the series. The first one being from Megami Tensei 2, where he appears as a slightly humanoid dragon, or perhaps a gargoyle, with dark blue and dark pink scales. In Last Bible, he appears as a man with an oversized sword and a small staff, wearing what appears to be blue robes. In Last Bible 3, Belial appears as a short blonde boy with a trident. In the Devil Children / Demi-Kids games, he appears as this thing. His most used design originates from Shin Megami Tensei, where he appears as one of the few demons in the series depicted as a more modern interpretation of the demon, where he has a human-like face with reptilian scales, a red tail, silver earrings, a trident, and wings that probably wouldn't actually allow him to fly. Now onto the demon I mentioned in part 1, who is also the demon who makes me the most uncomfortable, Osei. He makes me uncomfortable because there is a ton of furry porn of him. Osei is a great president of hell who rules 3 legions of demons, though some authors say 30. He makes men wise in liberal sciences and gives true answers when asked about divine and secret things. He also can cause any one person the conjurer wishes to go insane, making them believe that they are the creature or object that the conjurer desires. Or he can make the summoner think he is a king or pope. He is depicted as a leopard that changes into a man after an indeterminate amount of time. His name derives from the Latin term osor, meaning one who abhors. Osei has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Last Bible 3, Majin Tensei 2 Spiral Nemesis, Gaiten Megami Tensei, Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona Q, Persona 5, Demi-Kids Puzzle Decol, Digital Devil Saga 2, and Shin Megami Tensei Liberation D2, the mobile game. Osei's 2 largest roles are in Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Persona 5. In Shin Megami Tensei 4, every time Flynn and his party want to activate a fast travel terminal for the first time, they must defeat the Terminal Guardian, and in the 3rd fight with him, he summons an Osei. An Osei is also used by the hunter G.H. Hills in the final round of the side quest Hunter Tournament Finals. I don't really like that quest. In Persona 5, one of the many mini-bosses fought in Mementos takes the form of an Osei, this being the shadow of Yoshikuni Nejima, who cheats in real-world games. This means he cannot be attacked. Because of this, Joker must seek out the tower social link, Shinya Oda, who teaches him a tactic he can use with his gun to instantly knock him down, ending the fight with an all-out attack. This demon has had 7 designs over the course of the series. The first one originates from Shin Megami Tensei, and depicts Osei as an old bearded man with animalistic traits, such as light fur and animal ears. He wears a green cloak and wields 2 scimitars. Last Bible 3, Osei is depicted as a muscular man with several leopard traits, such as wearing the head of a leopard, having leopard arms, and a tail. His design from Majin Tensei 2 Spiral Nemesis, which seems to be the basis for his main design, depicts him as a half-man, half-leopard with purple fur. His cloak from SMT1 is back too, but his scimitars are now just generic swords. In Gaiten Megami Tensei, he is depicted, yet again, as very similar to his main design. It's roughly the same as his last depiction, but with yellow fur instead of purple. This design from Demi-Kid's Light and Dark depicts him as... this. I'm not too sure what it's meant to be. This design is from Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, but I'm showing you the version from Persona 4, since it's the same artwork but cleaner. It's a cleaned up version of his Gaiten Megami Tensei appearance, and finally, his current major appearance, which is actually more recent than you might think, originating from 2009's Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. It's a cleaned up version of Nocturne's design, so it's a cleanup of a cleanup. Also, his first design where his swords are sheathed. Now onto our next demon. Here's one of Megaten's most iconic demons, Dekarabia, who might actually be more well known because of Megaten. I mean, all this guy got on Wikipedia was a single paragraph. Dekarabia's title differs depending on the source. The Lesser Key of Solomon says he is a great Marquis of Hell, but the Latin version of Pseudo Domon Arcia Demonum says he is a King and Earl of Hell. He has 30 legions of demons under his command. Dekarabia knows information about all herbs and precious stones, can transform into any bird and sing and fly like them for the summoner. He's depicted as a living pentagram star. Dekarabia has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei If, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Devil Summoner Raidoku Zenoha vs King Abaddon, Gaiten Megami Tensei, Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5, Persona Q, Digital Devil Saga, Devil Survivor 2, and Shin Megami Tensei Liberation D2, the mobile game again. Despite his popularity, Dekarabia hasn't really ever had an important role. However, his brief appearance in Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is fondly remembered by fans. In this appearance, he is an NPC that can be talked to in Shibuya. He says he is waiting for his friend Fornius, who is late, because earlier the demi-fiend killed him, so obviously he's going to be late. Dekarabia never stops waiting for his friend. You could go back there just before you enter the Tower of Kagetsuchi and he'd still be there, waiting for Fornius. His faith in his friend is truly inspiring. Dekarabia has had one major design that has simply been updated once throughout the series, but he has had one different design, from Gaiten Megami Tensei, in which he is depicted as a blue star with a man partially fused into it. But now onto his main design. It originated from the original Shin Megami Tensei, where he's depicted as a starfish with a single yellow eye in the middle, with many protruding veins around said eye. This design was updated come Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and this update is the design used in all future appearances, from Persona 3 to Devil Survivor to Shin Megami Tensei 4, and most recently, I think, Persona 5. In this update, the color of his body was lightened, his eye color was changed from yellow to blue, eyelashes were added under his eye, and now, since you can see part of his back, we know that he has a blue back. Oh yeah, I forgot, Dekarabia is the 69th demon in the Osgoet. Yeah! Now on to one of the more underappreciated and underutilized demons in the series, Gamori, also known as Gremory, Gamori, Gamori, or Gomori. She is the only female demon in the Osgoetia, though some sources refer to her with male pronouns. She is a strong Duke of Hell that holds power over 26 legions of demons. She can tell the summoner about anything from the past, present, and future, or about hidden treasures. She also procures the love of maidens for the summoner. She is depicted as a woman riding a camel with the crown of a duchess tied around her waist. Gomori has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Megami Tensei 2, Kyoyaku Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei 2, Shin Megami Tensei Imagine, Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Demi-Kids, Devil Children Puzzle Decall, and Devil Children Light/Dark. Due to the fact that she hasn't really been in that many games, Gomori doesn't have that many important roles. Her only role that could count for this position is Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey, where she is part of the Anthony questline. Basically, Anthony's questline revolves around him crushing on various female demons and asks for the protagonist to find out each demon's opinion on him. The results are often unflattering. By the time he's fixated on Gomori, Anthony doesn't really know what to do around women anymore. So, as always, he gets the protagonist to find a Gomori, since he heard that she has the power to help procure love. When spoken to, Gomori leaves to go find Anthony, since, ironically, she believes it's her destiny to be with him, while he doesn't recognize her and rejects her at first. Among all the rewards given to the player for completing this quest, one of them is a password to summon a level 63 Gomori, which is a higher level than the ones you find in the wild, though I do not recommend using her since her stats aren't higher than one found in a random encounter, despite the higher level. Gomori has had 3 designs throughout the years. The first is from Megami Tensei 2, which depicts her as a goblin in a dress or something, I don't really know, it has nothing to do with her Goetia depiction. She has a depiction used exclusively in the Demi-Kids/Devil Children games, where she is depicted as a pale woman with long red hair who is wielding a scythe, and is wearing a long blue dress with oversized pauldrons and a large helmet. Again, this has nothing to do with her original depiction. And finally, her main design, that is used in almost all of her appearances, which is her only design based around her original depiction, really the only thing missing is the crown tied around her waist. Now let's move on to the final demon of the video. We have a demon who, even though I never used, was one of the most useful demons I encountered in Shin Megami Tensei 4, since for some reason he has the highest money output. That demon is Barbatos, who is an Earl and Duke of Hell who rules 30 legions of demons and has 4 kings as companions, who command his legions. When summoned, he can speak to animals, tell the future, conciliate friends and rulers, and can lead men to hidden treasure through the enchantment of magicians. What does that even mean? He is the 8th demon listed in the Lesser Key of Solomon, while other sources list him as the 6th. His name derives from the Latin word barbatus, which means bearded. Barbatos has appeared in the following Megami Tensei titles: Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, Devil Summoner, Megami Ibunroku Persona, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, Demi-Kids Light/Dark, Devil Children Fire/Icebook, Card Summoner, and Devil Survivor 2. Barbatos has never had an important role, but like I said before, in both Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, he appears as a random encounter enemy in Camp Ichigaya, who gives out the highest amount of money when your fundraise is used on him. This is literally his most important role, really, he doesn't matter that much. Despite his low appearance rate, Barbatos has had 6 different designs over the years. His first and most used originates from Devil Summoner. This design is almost a straight depiction of his illustration from the Infernal Dictionary, complete with the weird floating French horns. The only real design difference is that in Devil Summoner he floats, has a tail, and has purple skin, all of which were not specified in the Ars Goetia. This design has also been used in Card Summoner, Devil Survivor 2, Shin Megami Tensei 4, and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. The next design of Barbatos comes from Megami Ibunroku Persona, where he is shown as a strange imp-like creature with blue skin. The design after that is from Persona 2 Innocent Sin, where he's depicted as a dark-skinned man with a cape and what I think is meant to be a helmet. I can't really tell because it's so small. The next design is from Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, where he has a different head, but everything else about him is just recolored. Barbatos has 2 different designs from Demi-Kids. The first is just a red snake with a white frill and 3 yellow eyes. His second Demi-Kids design is his zombie form, which is practically the same, but yellow instead of red, and what appears to be rocks bursting out of his body. Hey, I actually managed to finish this video. It took several months, but I've finally done it. I hope I haven't kept anyone waiting, because these videos are the hardest videos for me to make, but also the most rewarding. Seriously, thank you for watching this passion project of mine, and if you have any more, ideas for future episodes, demons you want me to do, tell me in the comments, because I actually do read all my comments. I remember before someone requested me to do a Jack Frost video. I might just do that. Thank you for support.
They will have sealed off the city by now.